G'day everyone, welcome back to Aussie Dad Life. Thanks for joining me tonight out here in the garage on another chilly, cold Melbourne night. Tonight I'm going to be doing a bit of a multi-series. What I'm going to be doing is going through making a knife for a mate of mine in the States. So I've made a couple of knives for various people, put a few pictures up on Facebook, etc., just on my personal page, and got a lot of feedback on that. So one of my mates, he said he'd be happy to pay for the time and materials, etc. So going to do one for him. So what I've got here is a bit of a template that I made from my last one. He's given me a few parameters. He only wants a 4-inch blade on his, so I'm still tossing up what sort of wood I'm going to use. I want it to sort of be a fairly high-end presentation, sort of a grade knife that's going to get used. So I'm looking for a burl type wood. Not sure if that's going to be like a red gum or a ringed gidgee or a couple of the other, popular mallee burl type ones. I'm still looking around there, but the overall shape wise, I'm going to just sort of do a bit of a tracing outline. I normally just freehand the ones, so I'll sort of start off with this particular one here, and then I'll sort of modify it to suit. So the steel that I'm going to be using, I've only got a very basic forge. Literally it's just an outdoor barbecue with some charcoal. I get the blower going onto it to heat it up, and then I quench it in some used motor oil. It's just 1095 carbon steel that I bought. Can't even remember where I bought it from. I think it might have been Gameco Artesian Supplies, a local Australian supplier. I ordered it in a metre length. I've made about, 4 or 5 different knives out of the one length, and this is sort of the last of the lot here. So yeah, come along. Hope you enjoy it. Like I said, it's going to be a bit of a multi-part series. Let me know how I'm going. Thanks. Alright. So just tracing it out. Got my outline on there, ready to go. Now, it's a little bit on the fat side for what I want for the type of knife that I want. I want something sort of a little bit delicate, you could say. So here's like an earlier one that I've made that's just a bit of a rough one. Obviously that's a fairly large chopper style knife, you could say. And I want something probably nearly half that length, I suppose. So yeah, get to have a bit of a play around, see what sort of I like. And what I'll do is I'll slowly start to cut in a little bit. The blade might not be quite that wide, but I sort of like that sort of taper coming down there. So what I'll do is I'll start to just play around, get something that works out alright. Now I've got my tape measure here. So he said he wants a 4-inch blade. So 4 inches is pretty much to here. So I'm still way too long. So I need to sort of start it about there. So obviously with the 4-inch blade, I don't want it super fat, so that means I'm going to have to come up a little bit higher and then go from there and work out where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. I'm looking, I think for this one I might make it a little bit more fancy in that I'll give it a bit more swoop and a real curved end. Something like that. That's looking really nice. Something easy to manipulate. Alright, so time to break out the angle grinder. Let's start cutting this bad boy out. So here's the rough shape, and what I'll have to do now is get out the little angle grinder, and we'll start to trim it all up. so this is my little belt sander that I've got. Like I said, I've only made a handful of knives. It's a 1x30" belt grinder. Just buy the cheap belts on eBay, etc. Get them delivered. They don't last super long, but I'm only doing a small amount of knife, 1 or 2 knives, every couple of months. So it's not such a big deal for me. If I got into it a little bit more serious, I'd look at making a proper, 2x72, something along those lines. But like I mentioned, it goes really well for what it is. So I think it cost me, it was around $100 all up. Where I bought it, can't remember where, but I've seen them advertised on eBay, etc. So all good. Alright, so as you can see here, got the rough shape ground out, and now it's time to change belts and start to start grinding in the bevels, etc. Overall, got a nice shape, nice feel to the hand. Might make the handle a little bit shorter. Seems to be a little bit on the long side, but for the most part, I think it's not too bad, and I might change that taper a little bit as well. Here's where the old DJI Osmo battery went flat, so I never got to finish off thanking everyone for watching. Hope you have a great night. Like I mentioned, this is part 1, and hopefully I can get through some more of the blade in the next few nights and get it up and visible for you guys. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.